and welcome to the Canadian Men's National Fast Pitch Championships, Senior Men's. Steve Saber along with Jason Whittle for this early evening game. And Jason, two teams this afternoon or this evening going head-to-head.
Yeah, both from the out west. One from BC, the BC Souk Loggers and the Saskatoon Jacks meeting here in Ontario.
Saskatoon Jacks up to bat. It's Pat Burns, the right fielder, leading things off. Scott Leaf getting the start for Souk BC.
Souk BC Loggers wearing all black with the blue undershirts and the blue trim with the numbers. Saskatoon Jacks wearing white with the burgundy pinstripe down the pants and numbers and the letters across the chest.
And a first batter walk for Saskatoon. Gets Burns on. It'll be Ryan Bicknell coming to the plate, the left fielder. I don't know, those white unis look a little too clean.
Yeah, some of them do look pretty clean, so I don't know if they've got a good washing machine at the hotel, or they're just that good and don't get dirty.
They look professional. So umpire calling time, and don't know if that was a no-pitch call. Let's see what pops up on the scoreboard here. Top of the first inning. And thanks for Jason over to my right for covering the early on and getting things set up. Traffic was a little rough on the way down to the ballpark today. Popped up in the air, and that will be hauled in by Leaf for the first out of the inning. Missed assignment there, Jason, with popping up the bunt.
Yeah, you don't want to ever do that. When you're sacrifice, you want to sort of deaden the ball in front of the plate or push it down the lines. That way you don't have the lead runner get thrown out at second. But yeah, miscue there for sure from Bicknell. He popped it up, and now this gives the possibility of a double play if the ball's hit in the right spot.
Justin Lekowski trying to get things done, the shortstop. And that one will sail in high. Long rain delay yesterday. Today's been decent weather for ball games, maybe a little cooler than some would like, but no wet stuff.
Well, it's definitely great weather for baseball, I think.
A little bit of heat there by Leaf to get it by Leskowski. Shot to the left side, that's going to go out of play. Set and delivery on the run, slide in, and he's okay. And a nice slide by Burns as he gets into second base. Maybe a chance, but the throw was a little short.
Yeah, throw's a little short and a little off the bag, and I think I think Wiskowski thought, or not Wiskowski, sorry, but I thought he had him as he tagged him as he went by, but clearly the ump in perfect position, able to make that call.
So now with the runner in scoring position, there's a stab at the ball, but that will be an infield hit for Leskowski as he scampers down to first base. And that will push Burns to third. Tough play for the second baseman there, Blake Hunter.
Yeah, hard hit ball for Hunter. He did everything he could just to keep it in front of him and prevent that run from scoring.
Brady Narcond now up to the plate, center fielder for Saskatoon. So threatening here in the top of the first with runners at the corners and only one away.
Saskatoon looking for the ever important first run of the ball game.
Delivery by Leaf misses inside. Trying to work that inside corner on the right-handed batter, Arcand. He's missed a couple of times. Be interested to see if Saskatoon sends Leskowski here in with the runner at third base. Set it to fire way too high. No chance for a steal there, although Leskowski got a good jump off the bag. And that will miss for ball four. So bases loaded on the walk. And that's going to bring up Max Major, the catcher.
Now batting, the catcher, number 13, Max Major.
Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Scotty.
A lot of fan support. Maxie being shouted out throughout the stands. First pitch is fouled off.
The Souk Loggers coming in 3-2 so far in this tournament. Saskatoon 4-1.
And that's going to cut the outside corner. And now the catcher for Souk, Brian Aubrey, wants a word. We'll get things settled down here. Dangerous position here for Souk in BC in the top of the first inning. Don't want to fall behind by too much in the early part of the game.
Yeah, maybe look for a strikeout here and then just a ground out or a pop out or something. Try to salvage this inning and try to get out of here without a run.
Burns started off with a walk. Leskowski got on with one out with the infield single. Arcand was issued the walk. And now they're dealing with Max Major. Oh, that was a pitch that Major wanted right there. That was in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, he took a healthy cut at that and just missed it. The ball is leaving the diamond on a regular basis here today, especially out to left field, left center. Multiple home runs in every game so far today. Nice brisk wind in the outfield. No threat of rain at all. It's been a beautiful day for baseball.
There's a high chopper to the shortstop. Touch bag for one. Get it to first base for the double play. Oh, my. And what a time to find your defense.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play there by Hunter at second, playing in the right position. Touches the bag. at second, then fires quickly to first. A bang-bang play ends the threat here in the top of the first.
So Saskatoon with 1 hit, the 2 walks. They leave the bases. They had the bases loaded, but the double play takes them out of the inning. And we go to the bottom of the first with no score.
Yeah, BC Loggers needed that really bad to get out of that inning unscathed. Not too often you get the bases loaded with 1 out and you come out with no runs. Usually you give up 1, but they were able to turn that double play, the 4-3 double play, and going to the bottom of this first inning, tied up at 0.
So looking at the standings, how important is it for Sault to get a win in this contest against one of the better teams?
I think first is out of reach for them, but this should, for Sault, it'll solidify second for them.
So for Sault BC, it'll be Brian Aubrey, Blake Hunter, and Scott Nahaj coming up to the plate, the first 3 batters to face the pitcher in Jordan Hudson, number 17. Defense in behind Hudson setting up here. Of course, Ryan Bicknell in left, Braden Arcand in center, and Pat Burns in right field. Over at first base is Troy Kuzminka. Second base, Will Major. Over at third is Andrew Kuttenkoff. And the shortstop, Justin Liskowski. So that's your defensive setup here this evening for Saskatoon. And away we go. Aubrey will step into the batter's box from the right side.
33, Brian Aubrey.
Aubrey, the back catcher, looking to lead off, get on base.
Big cut on a pitch that climbed the ladder. Both of these teams did play earlier today. The Saskatoon Jacks came out with an 11-9 win over the Toronto Batmen, while the Loggers lost 6-1 to the Galway Hitmen. And that's going to be skied behind the backstop, go out of play. Some of the other action in the senior men's, Waterdown Hammer beating the Mixburg Twins 8-6. East Hants Mastodons 8-0 over the Kitchener-Holman Cubs. And Bear Creek Express rolled through Josh Collins Racing Red 10-0. Checked down to first base and said yes, he went.
Yeah, I was here for the game this morning with Waterdown and the Twins, and the Twins jumped out to a 6-0 lead after 2, and after that it was all Waterdown. They took control, scored 8 straight, and 2-run homer, I think, in the bottom of the 5th is what done it for them to put them ahead for good.
That's a tough one to take. You build a 6-0 lead and can't hold. Batter calls timeout. As Blake Hunter now into the mix. Hudson will get comfortable now in the circle. Lots of encouragement. Sounds like a few Saskatoon fans in the crowd here this evening.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them sitting there right behind home plate. They're all dressed in their burgundy, cheering on their teams. Making the drive all the way, or the flight, I guess, from Saskatoon. But looking at the schedule, I was mistaken. I'd forgot all about the Toronto Batmen being in the men's division. So they're 4-1 as well. Saskatoon's 4-1 as well. This game's more important for Saskatoon than it is for Toronto, or for BC. But BC nonetheless could secure third with a win over the Jacks, and that'll help out Toronto too.
Well, if the Jacks able to win this one, that'll put the pressure on the Batmen. They face East Hants tonight.
Yes.
For the 8:15 game. So, and then one more game tomorrow morning, and then it goes into all of the playoff situations as a walk is issued here to Hunter, so he'll go down to first base.
Now batting first baseman number 41.
One out. Scott Nahaj coming up to the plate now.
Here we go, George. Come on, 17.
And that was right down the pipe. Whoa, look out. Tight pitch high and inside, but he twisted, and that'll be strike two.
Yeah, kind of hard to check up on that swing when you're twisting like that.
Just missed. Hudson wanted that call.
Yeah, that was pretty close there. That's almost too close to take, but that's a heck of an eye up there by Nihaj to take something that close.
Defense playing straight away as another foul ball will keep the at-bat going. And that's what it's all about, battling, giving yourself a chance to find that pitch that is one for you.
Yeah, and the more pitches the pitcher gets to throw, the more chances of a mistake he makes in your favor.
He's not going to catch up to that one. Great pitch by Hudson for the second out of the inning.
Batting third
So Kyle Cowick, the third baseman, coming in. First time at the dish, takes a strike. Great change of speeds to get the batter fooled. And that's, I think, the first real changeup we've seen here this evening.
Cowick way ahead of that, anticipating a fastball, and looked silly whiffing at it, but that's usually how the pitchers do it.
Trying to work that outside corner.
Hudson looking at the umpire again, wanting that outside call. Pitch set up perfectly with the changeup before, come back with the heater just outside, hoping to get him the chase or the call, but
Come on, 17.
Hudson doing a little maintenance to the mound where his plant and drag foot is there.
Well, I see that circle get worked up so quickly and trying to make sure everything is in the right spot. Drilled third base side out of play. Was here Wednesday night and late in the day. Saw a couple of times that little landing area got dug up so bad that a couple of pitchers had some issues coming down in the little bit of a hole that was dug.
Yeah, their plant foot, if it moves or bobbles, it really can throw your timing off. It can throw everything off. Every pitcher's unique in the way they do it.
Nice riser there to get Cowick swinging for the third out. So just the one walk, no hits, and 3 Ks for Hudson. So we go to the top of the second, scoreless, as Saskatoon will look to get things started. And it's going to be Troy Kuzminka coming up to the plate to lead things off.
Nice inning for Hudson there. Questioning a couple calls, but didn't throw too many pitches. He didn't waste too many pitches.
Well, you're a salesperson out there too, right? Trying to sell that spot.
Trying to sell the spot, work the strike zone, work the umpire. A good back catcher does that too. He'll ask the oh, was that too far in, too outside? And yeah, you're politicking for your pitches. "24 pitches that inning for Hudson, 14 of them for strikes.
Okay, Troy, get him started.
So Leaf ready to go here. The umpire making sure everything is settled in. And it will be number 29, Troy Kuzminka, coming to the plate for Saskatoon.
Leaf doing a little bit of maintenance to the mound there during his warm-up. You'd never know Hudson was out there pitching. The way they go out there, when they first get out there, they work up right in front of the pitcher's rubber, right to the circle, to make sure their drag foot and their plant foot will be on solid ground.
Leaf starts things off with a strike. Changeup offered there, misses the mark. field conditions after yesterday's downpour earlier in the day and into the early afternoon. Field looks fantastic. Kudos to the grounds crew for keeping everything above par as a hard swing there. Trigger strike 2.
Yeah, the grounds crew, both during the day and at night, have done fantastic work. I was here Tuesday for the 5-hour rain delay, and there was water all over this diamond, and they, within an hour of it stopped raining, they had the diamond in shape ready to go. Nice
pitch by Leaf, a little extra oomph, and marked down the strikeout for the first out of the inning. The DP, Brant Weeb, coming up to the plate.
Now batting the shortstop, number 19, Brant Weeby.
Weeby takes the first pitch strike. And he finds himself in a hole very, very quickly. Couldn't hold back, and on 3 pitches, down goes Weeby for the second out. Now Andrew Kutnikoff, the third baseman, stepping up to the plate.
Now batting the third baseman, number 20.
Well, it's been a great week if you're a fan of the game. The U23s wrapping up their end of the tournament. Men's Masters part of the festivities as well. Slap hit to the shortstop. Quick delivery, not going to be in time though, as Kutnikoff gets on with speed, and really the first, from my vantage point, only here for a few games, but first real slap hit that works out.
Yeah, this is the first slap hit I've seen in probably 7 or 8 games. So well executed with speed.
Gus Wilson got rid of it quickly, but too much speed down the line. Second baseman Will Major coming up to the plate now with 2 away, runner at first.
You talk about the U23 men's championship. Great game this afternoon between the Rostock Junior Batmen and the Tavistock Merchants. Back and forth, but Rostock was able to come out with a 3-2 win, claim the gold medal for the men's under 23.
Young gentleman on that Rostock team by the name of Riley Good from Wingham, Ontario. Coached him when he was a 7-year-old back in the day.
Nice. He was, he was effective there today. Very good at bats. Played well in the field.
Will Major takes a look at strike 3. That will end the inning, so just the 1 hit. No runs, and we remain scoreless going into the bottom of the second. Oh, congratulations to Rostock for your hard work, and always competitive in that U23 division. And now some of the U23 players will jump up to their senior men's teams and ride out the rest of the tournament today and tomorrow.
Yeah, that was the best part about it. You look at the rosters for the U23 and you look at the men's rosters, and you got people on Tavistock and the Rostock and New Hamburg going and battling against each other, and then a couple games later they're teammates. And it's funny. That's what fastball is. Like, people, if you want to play fastball, there's no shortage of teams that will take you on to play, especially if you're a pitcher.
So Hudson will get back to work here. He'll face Tyson Barkman, the DP, to lead things off. Logan Newman and Bed Edginton will be the first 3 up for Sook BC. Hudson in control in the first inning with 3 strikeouts.
Now batting will be number 8, Tyson Barton.
I was able to take in a Masters game earlier. I was watching Shakespeare play. I can't think who they played offhand, but they mercied them, I think, in the 5th inning, 9-0. And they found their footing. They started out 0-3, and they've won the last 2. And put up 11 runs this morning and another 9 this afternoon. So that'll help out in the plus-minus department.
Hard delivery by Hudson, and he's quickly ahead. Had a pitch to waste there, so couldn't get Barkman to chase. Another great pitch. Another strikeout victim for the first out of the bottom of the second. Logan Newman, the right fielder, coming up now for his first attempt. Sook batters will want to try to get something going here, even if it's just one hit, disrupt the confidence of Hudson, who seems to be gaining some momentum here early on in the game.
Yeah, once a pitcher gets in the zone and gets firing, unless you do something to disrupt the rhythm, call time, swing at the first pitch maybe, it's if he starts rolling, then you're going to be in trouble as a team.
High and hard, fouled off. Newman able to stay alive on that swing. And that one fouled away. Catcher couldn't hold on to it. Before we get too far, I want to thank the crew from Conestoga providing the audio and visual setup for the tournament. Fantastic job. As that ball is skied to the left field side, and that's going to be swallowed up for out number 2.
Bicknell able to track it down and camp underneath a bit. With the wind blowing out there from right to left, there's balls and fly balls can be tricky.
Number 15, Bed Edginton, the left fielder, now up to the plate. First pitch strike. Same spot, a little more zip. And now Edginton finding himself down 0-2. I was going to say he wants to go high on this one, but that was a little too high.
Yeah, it looks like the ball might have slipped out of his hand a little bit as he tried. Had a little smirk on his face, knowing that, oh, so that looked bad.
There's the one he wanted. 5th strikeout of the game, and Sook goes down in order once again. So after 2 complete, no score, and we go to the top of the 3rd and the top of the order for Saskatoon. Pat Burns leading things off. Ball back into Scott Leaf's hands as he will continue to work away here. You have a feeling that this is going to be his game to go all the way, no matter what happens, as Sook BC needs to pick up a win here.
Yeah, and Saskatoon Jacks going back to the top of the order to start this top of the 3rd.
Saskatoon at the top of the 3rd inning. Right fielder, number 14.
Burns took a walk back in the 1st inning and was able to work his way to 3rd, where he was left stranded. And he'll lead things off with a solid single. First pitch swinging, and he's aboard. Ryan Bicknell coming up to the plate. We'll see if Bicknell here bunts. They tried it back in the 1st inning, and he popped it up to the pitcher.
Yeah, back to the 1st inning, the controversy with the double play there that the BC Loggers were able to turn to get out of the inning as bases were loaded with 1 out.
Better bunt by Bicknell. Throw to first. It was bounced, and they're going to get Burns at 3rd. And the Jacks just ran themselves out of a opportunity. It was a decent bunt by Bicknell, and the throw was bounced to first base, so Bicknell's safe. And then Burns tried to go to 3rd, and he was gunned out 3-5.
Yeah, when Burns turned around second, he didn't see anybody at 3rd and thought he was going to be in there fairly easy, but it's kind of hard. It's hard to outrun a ball across the diamond like that, especially a bang throw like that, right on the money.
Yeah, the throw from Scott Nei was right on target. So sometimes you see the defensive errors cost you in a game, and now a running error by the Jacks may cost them a run. So Laskowski here with a hit back in the 1st inning. See if he can duplicate that effort. Right down the line, that's a fair ball. And this is going to score a run. They're going to send Bicknell around. He reaches home easily. And it's going to be Laskowski with the solid double. Make it 1-0 Saskatoon Jacks.
A well-placed hit. If you couldn't place that ball any better down the first base line, a couple inches inside the line, rolling in the foul territory, and with the wheels of Bicknell at first, easily scoring. Now I wonder how big that second run would be, or will be, if it'll come into play later on in the game. That could have been if Pat Burns hadn't been gunned out at third.
Braden Arcand up to the plate. Took a walk back to the first. Skies this to the second base side. And read nicely by Blake Hunter. 2 away.
Batting the catcher number 13, Max Major.
Max Major coming up to the plate now, the catcher for Saskatoon. And he hit into the double play that ended the threat in the first. So now he has another opportunity, runner at second base. And he'll slap it to the shortstop, and that gets by him. And that will score Laskowski from second. And Saskatoon goes up 2-0. Just out of the reach of Wilson, and Saskatoon capitalizes to go up 2-0.
Yeah, and when the ball got through and Major took off running, the coach was wheeling his arm. He was sending him regardless.
Now batting first baseman number 29.
So we've got the catcher's rules, so Arcand will come out to run for Major with 2 away. And that is skied to center field. And the left fielder will actually come over and make the play. And that will end the inning, but not before Saskatoon adds 2 runs on 3 hits. And they have the lead going into the bottom of the third. So some work to do for the squad from BC. It'll be Wilson, and Avery coming up. Going over to the Masters men's schedule today. Shakespeare beating Coburg 11-5. It was the Huron County Angels over the Saskatoon Brewers 5-0. Falcons come back and beat the Treaty for Snappers 9-0. Grand Prairie Pirates over the Angels 10-7. And some more games coming up a little later. Leading off now is the shortstop, Gus Wilson. So when you look at the standings for the men's right now, Bear Creek Express at 4-0, Saskatoon, Toronto, and Galloway all at 4-1. So really tight between the top 4 teams. Souk Loggers coming in at 3-2 with the East Hants Mastodons. And then the Waterdown Hammer Mixburg Twins both at 1-4.
Yeah, the Mixburg Twins, they took a hard loss there this morning. Up 6-0. I think after the second inning they were up 6-0 and did nothing at that point.
Well, they picked up a win 2 nights ago. Didn't hit a ball and won 2-1. Wild pitch and an error.
Well, you take them any way you can get them.
Exactly. Chop to the shortstop. Tough play there. As Laskowski was trying to play the short hop, but it goes off his wrist. And Wilson will be at first base. So now the center fielder, Chris Wilson, coming up to the plate. That's what you want when you're Sook getting that leadoff runner after giving up 2 runs. And now bunted to the first baseman. Throw back to the second baseman covering for the out. But the runner advances on the sac bunt. So we go to the top of the order now. Brian Avery coming up to the plate. A strikeout victim back in the first inning, but he's had a look at Hudson now. See if things change for him this time.
Smart running by Gus Wilson, not tempted to go to third even though there was nobody covering. He saw what happened in the top of the third inning with Pat Burns.
Especially when you're trailing. You don't want to cough up and erase that possible run out on the base paths. Good pitch by Hudson. Tied up the batter on the inside part of the plate. Working ahead now. Wastes a pitch there. Doesn't get him to chase. And a great hold on too by the catcher. But it was a tip ball, so runner couldn't advance anyway. Two and two count. And driven up the gut. That will score the run from second base. And the leadoff batter does his job and drives in Gus Wilson, Sook BC, right back into this.
Hard hit ball up the middle. Hudson threw out his glove to try to snag it, but to no avail. And yeah, the leadoff batter doing what he does best, getting on base, not going to run in.
Blake Hunter now up to the plate, took a walk back in the first inning.
Hunter having a discussion with the umpire over that last pitch.
And now he finds himself in a real hole. Nice job to get a piece of that offering, stay alive in the at-bat. Stays alive again as it's fouled at a play. And Hunter will not go away, making Hudson work here. And driven to left field, a base hit. And so Scott Nahai now will come to the plate. A strikeout victim back in the first inning. And now a discussion between pitcher and catcher to make sure their signals and locations are all set up. What do you have to offer here, Hudson?
Blake Hunter doing a great job after falling, like you said, 0-2 quickly and being pretty frustrated with the umpire. Was able to fall off some pitches, get his head back in the game and get right, and turned on one and had a solid hit to left field.
Takes a look at ball one. So the next batter on deck, Kyle Cowick, was also a strikeout victim back in the first. We'll see if the heart of the order can turn the tables here in the third. Jack scoring their 2 runs in the top of this inning, and now Sook BC responding. And that is flared high in the air. The third baseman tracking it, looking, ooh, and that was a little more difficult than what everybody thought it would be. But Andrew Kutnikoff able to find it.
Yeah, once that ball gets up in the air, it can do wonders with the spin on it off the bat, the wind. It would have been interesting to see what happened if had it fallen on the ground.
Well, the one nice thing to see is once he called it, everybody got out of the way. Gave him all the room possible to make that catch. Kyle Cowick coming up to the plate now. So with 2 down, still runners at first and second, 1 run already in. The umpire over at the scorer's table, and that's why there's a little bit of a delay here. So I didn't see anybody make a change. We're ready to go back to the action, and Hudson will go back to work. And he starts it off with a strike. And that one just missed. It looks like Major wanted that call, pointing to his pitcher, saying that was a good spot.
Yeah, Hudson pretty frustrated on the mound as well.
And Cowick just couldn't hold off on that one. Fouls it off, and Hudson in the driver's seat. Trying to work himself out of a jam here with runners at first and second. Catcher called time. And a strikeout will end the threat here in the bottom of 3. So Sook BC gets 1 run on 2 hits. And we go to the top of the 4th inning, and still Saskatoon leading by a run. It'll be Wiebe, Kutnikoff, and Major coming to the plate for Saskatoon, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Left on.
Blake Hunter warming up there halfway through that last half inning there along the right field line.
So once we get through the action tonight, we have the Bear Creek Express and Waterdown Hammer playing currently on field 2. And then the late games, 8 o'clock, the Josh Collins Racing Red and Kitchener-Holman Cubs, which will be presented next following this game. And the Toronto Batmen and East Hants Mastodons on field 2 will wrap up this evening's action. And then a 9 o'clock game between Bear Creek and Kitchener tomorrow morning. And then it gets into the playoff bracket with the preliminary placings and then into the bracket winners. And that all works its way into Sunday, which will be for the semifinals and finals. So still lots of ball to catch here at Peter Holman Ball Yard in Kitchener. Brent Wiebe coming up to the plate for Saskatoon, struck out back in the second. Slaps it to the shortstop, and Wilson fires it over for the first down of the inning. Always have to like that as a pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, easy work.
Now batting the third baseman, number 22,
Andrew Kutnikoff coming up to the plate. Single back in the second. Down the line, that hit the bag. No, it hit the orange bag. So that's going to be a foul ball. And the home plate umpire right up the line to make that call.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but it did catch the orange portion of the bag.
Slap to the third base side and off the glove of the third baseman. And Kutnikoff will be in there with a single. That was a hard shot. Kyle Cowick looking to the sky in exasperation, thinking he had that one.
Yeah, Kutnikoff was rounding first on that slap button. He was thinking second, then he stumbled and then wisely went back to first. Whether he would have actually went or not, but he looked like he was ready to go.
Will Major, the second baseman, struck out looking in his first plate appearance. And now he'll work with a runner on first base here in the fourth. Squared to bunt and fouled it off. Saskatoon looking to be aggressive here.
Kutnikoff with his second slap single of this game.
Bunt's laid down. They have to go to first, and that throw almost tailed into the runner. It advances Kutnikoff to second, but now there's 2 away.
Yeah, great job there by Newman to able to make that catch. As you said, the ball was trailing into the runner, able to squeeze it and hold on and keep the runner from going from second to third.
This brings to the plate Pat Burns, 1 for 1, single in the third, and a walk back in the first. And now discussion time by the Sook defense to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Intentional walk issued.
So Burns at first, Ryan Bicknell now up to the plate. And he was able to hold his swing there. And that's I think, a smart play by Sook at this point in the game. Now you have the force at third as well.
Yeah.
Burns has had a good eye on the ball. Bicknell can't hold up on that one.
Yeah, Burns been on base both times. Drew a walk in the first. Base running blunder, I'll say, but I understand his thought process, and he was able to single back again in the third. And, yeah, you get a force on any bag right now.
And now Bicknell is down in the count 1-2. And he charges this one to center field. It's playable, and that will be swallowed up by Chris Wilson and ends the Jacks' threat here in the top of the fourth. So 1 hit, an intentional walk, 2 runners left on base. It's still 2-1 for the Jacks going into the bottom of the fourth.
Ball passed with the fourth. There was no runs on 1 hit and 2 left on.
PA announcer confirming my summary there. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Sook BC will send up Tyson Barkman, Logan Newman, and Bed Enginton, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters here, and they will face Hudson once again, who has left the shades on the bench as we have some clouds rolling in.
Yeah, it's starting to get cool out again. You see some people wrapping up with some blankets. One young lady said she's had enough, and she's packed her stuff up, and looks like she's heading for the exits.
Don't worry, they're not rain clouds. They're just clouds.
They're just clouds.
They're just clouds. No rain in those clouds.
This is perfect fastball weather. It's cloudy, cool. The ball's jumping off the bats. It's
playoff weather.
It's playoff weather. Until next week, then it'll be summer weather again.
Tyson Barkman struck out back in the second inning, so he is 0 for 1 on the day. That one got away from Hudson for ball number 1. Max Major taking the pitch a little hard, had to take a walk. Umpire giving him a little bit of an extra time, making sure he's okay. Didn't see what happened there. There was a swing, and
went off his forearm.
Seems to be okay. Barkman back into the box. And now Hudson in control.
Devin McCullough up throwing for the Saskatoon Jacks down the first base line. Second time he's been up this game.
Not a bad guy to have in the bullpen for the game today.
No, not at all. Especially in a tight game like this, you don't want to see any. If Hudson starts to get in trouble, then you can go right to the bullpen and get a fresh arm in there. And
great changeup by Hudson and fooled Barkman, and he goes down swinging for the second time today. Logan Newman stepping up to the plate, flied out to left field in his first at bat. working with Fred Wallace back on Wednesday for a couple of the games and just chatting back and forth. And it's great to see a lot of names that you're familiar with when it comes to the national program, both men's and U23. That's charged. That's to the fence and hits the bottom of the fence. And Newman's going to scamper into second for a double.
Yeah, he got a hold of that and hit the bottom of the fence, and the fencing's pretty tightly wound out there, so as soon as it hit it, it bounced back and overrun there by Bicknell. He couldn't corral it, which I think even if he'd had, I still think you've seen him standing on second base.
Ball just didn't have enough fuel behind it to get over the fence, but in scoring position nonetheless. And Sook BC an opportunity to tie things up here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, runner on second with one out. The whole playbook's open for any call you want to make.
Now the shouts of encouragement start to increase. Chop to the pitcher. And look out! Oh, that foul ball. That's why. Got away from Hudson. Called foul at home plate. So
Hudson and the second baseman Hunter or Major sitting there chuckling a little bit.
well, I think it caught the first baseman off guard a little bit too.
Caught
But
off guard, and the runner on second, Newman, I think he was getting ready to dart for third, but foul was called.
check swing, fouls it off, and again stays alive.
Strong supporter of Jacks, of the Saskatoon Jacks in attendance tonight. Watch that foul ball bounce behind them.
And kept it downstairs as Edmonton strikes out. And now two away here in the inning. Gus Wilson coming up to the plate. Wilson's first at bat, chopped it to the shortstop, which bounced off the wrist and allowed Wilson to get aboard. Hard chopper. Now he's got a runner at second base. Can he drive him in? High and inside. Still trying to work that inside and gets the call on the corner. First base is open, but want to get out of the inning here with two out. Hudson wanted to make sure from his catcher. Now they're happy with the selection. And chop to second. Nice little pickup on the hop. And that will erase the threat here in the bottom of the fourth. So one hit, one left on, no runs. And Sook BC find themselves still trailing 2-1 as we go to the top of the fifth.
Great job by Major there to get his whole body in front of the ball, play the short hop, make sure he had it. Easy toss over to Kuzminka, and that ends the threat.
Laskowski, Arkand, and Major due up for Saskatoon. That's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. And it looks like there's going to be some changes for Sook BC here. I'll try to get those to you. It will be Laskowski waiting to come to the plate. And he's 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. Also came around to score in the third.
Yeah, part of the 2 runs that they scored in the third there. Off that single, I believe, of Max Major.
Umpire just confirming the changes at the scoring table, making sure everything's ready to go. Scott Leaf is ready to pitch.
Leaf sitting on 52 pitches so far, going into the top of the fifth. Not a bad average.
And we are ready to go again. So we'll see if Leaf can solve Laskowski, who has seemed to have a beat on the BC pitcher here this evening. They're going to check down to third base. Yes, he did go around. That came in high. And that is soared to the third base side. Hunter setting up camp, and he'll swallow it up for the first out of the inning.
So it looks like the changes the BC Souk Loggers made. Hunter's moved over to third, and Darcy Walushka has moved to second, and Cowick has come out of the game. From what I can see from the start to now, that looks like the
Hunter trouble there with the hard shot to the third base side, and Arkand is on base for the Jacks. Max Major stepping up to the plate. And he is 1 for 2, a single back in the third inning. And he'll chop it to the second baseman, shoveled over. They'll get the force at second. The 4-6 put out for 2 away. And Troy Kuzminka coming up to the plate. Kuzminka with a hit, or check that fly out back in the third, struck out back in the second, so for 2. And again, Major comes off the base paths as he's the catcher, and it'll be Arkand back at first to run.
Yeah, I like that rule, the 2-out rule for the pitcher and the catcher.
Is that going to find its way out? Yes, it is. That rule saved me a whole lot of running back in the day.
Yeah, if I played again, I'd have to have a courtesy runner.
And that goes to Hunter. Nice and smooth. The Jacks want to say it was a dead ball. It's not. It was in play. And they're going to talk to the second base umpire about it. So the Jacks, did they say it hit behind home plate or hit the batter? No, they're going to say it's a fair ball.
Yeah, I didn't see. I thought it was just a hard chopper right in front of home plate, and I didn't think it touched the runner, but obviously they all seem to think it has. So
It ends up 5-3 on the putout for the third out of the inning. So the Jacks in the top of the fifth. No runs on one hit. Yeah, the only thing on that play that I could see if it hit the runner or hit the batter off the chop, but it was called fair right away.
yeah, and the umpire being right there, he would have the best view of everybody, especially when the batter took off running too, and so he didn't do a good job of selling it, in my opinion.
Chris Wilson will lead things off here for Sook BC in the bottom of the fifth, and then they go to the top of the order in Brian Avery and Blake Hunter. So still an opportunity, but they're going to have to face one Devin McCullough now as he comes into the game to pitch for the Saskatoon Jacks. So Hudson, 2 runs on 6 hits. And 3 strikeouts for his line. And now Devin McCullough coming into the mix. So the Jacks not taking any chances here.
Starting off, the bottom half of the fifth inning, the center fielder, number 11, Chris Waluska.
And Wilson gets the unenviable task to face McCullough here first. And first pitch swinging, swallowed up by the second baseman. A nice toss over. And that's out number 1.
I like Walushka's thinking on that, come out swinging. New pitcher, he's going to want to get the first pitch across, get a strike, get his rhythm going, and even though it was a ground out, it was good. It was good thought process on Walushka. Sorry.
So here's Brian Avery. Of course, he's seen McCullough a number of times, both as an adversary and a teammate at one time or another. Nice hold by the batter there. McCullough really working that pitcher circle to make sure all of the marks are where he wants them. Trying to get a good foothold. Still doesn't seem to be happy. And he's fallen behind here on Avery. 3-1 count. Gets the strike there. And now 3-2. And there we go, strike 3. McCullough comes in. Blake Hunter now coming up to the plate. He'll get some tips from his teammate before he steps in to face McCullough.
Blake Hunter.
Here we go, Deb. All right, Max, here we go, Deb. Nice pitch in there. Way to fire.
And now McCullough seemed to find his groove.
Hunter 1 for 1 with a walk.
And Hunter didn't like that one. And nice pitch there by McCullough to end the 5th. So called upon to shut things down here in the latter stages of the game. And he does just that to end the 5th inning. A couple of strikeouts as Saskatoon holds on to a 2-1 lead going into the top of the 6th. Due up, Brant Wiebe, Andrew Kutnikoff, and number 7, Will Major. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Jacks will try to extend their lead
Score after 5 complete.
here in this game.
Saskatoon 2, Suki 1.
Again, the Jacks coming into the contest at 4-1, trying to pick up their 5th win. Bear Creek Express, the only team undefeated at 4-0. They play tonight and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah, after them, there's a log jam. Saskatoon, Toronto, Galway, all sitting at 4-1. And then you have the East Haunts Mastodons sitting at 3-2 with the BC Souk Loggers. The Souk Loggers come back to win. That could really make things interesting. I'd put them at 4-2, along with Saskatoon.
They got some work to do, though. And right now, concentrating on defense. Brant Wiebe up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Strikeout and a ground out to the shortstop. And Leaf climbing the ladder to get Wiebe swinging. One out, Kutnikoff coming up to the plate, and he's been a thorn in the Loggers' side this afternoon. A couple of singles here.
Andrew Kutnikoff.
Yeah, he's mastered that slap single down the third base line. Twice he's been successful with it. See what he does for an encore.
Trying it again. Hunter has to be aware. Hunter sneaking in a little bit from the third base side, pardon me, to cut down the time it takes for the ball to reach him. Does it again. Leaf with it, has to throw it quickly, but he'll hold on. And great wheels by Kutnikoff to get down the line for his third hit of the day.
Yeah, that was intentional, into the ground, high bounce. He knew he was going to outrun it. Man, he gets down them bases pretty quick.
Will Major coming up to the plate, 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground out to the third base side. Can't hold up his swing there.
And that slap bunt's an art, the slap single's an art, because you still have to be in the batter's box when you make contact with that ball.
Yeah, you're almost turning away from the plate, but your feet are still in the box. Chop foul. You know, you look at Kutnikoff's style here, reminds me of Argentina, their national program. A lot of slap hitters on that squad, relying on timing and speed.
Yeah, you have to play to your strengths. If you don't have the power that other teams have, but you have speed and you have good contact, then you adjust accordingly. And it's hard to defend, as we've seen here. He's 3 for 3 right now.
Major trying to advance him. And he won't be able to do so because he strikes out for out number 2. And that's going to bring Pat Burns to the plate now, interestingly enough, back in the 4th.
Right fielder number 14, Pat Burns.
The Loggers elected to intentionally walk Burns. He's officially 1 for 1, a single back in the 3rd, a walk in the 1st. So maybe kind of pitch to him.
Yeah, carefully. But the intentional walk, like, it was a good strategic move by the Loggers. They were, they did that to have a force on any bag.
Burns will get set once again after fouling that one off. And chopped off the ground. Leaf with it. Oh, and had trouble in the transition. Kutnikoff's going to go home on this play. And the Jacks get an all-important insurance run. Leaf had trouble getting it from out of his glove. He had to hurry. Burns was trucking down the first base line. But the overthrow will allow the Jacks to take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, the speed on the base pass. Once that ball went over the top of the first baseman, Kutnikoff, he was rounding third and he was going home. There wasn't nothing stopping him.
Yeah, knee-high, not a small target by any stretch of the imagination. That ball sailed way high.
Yeah, I think the speed of Pat Burns caught Leaf off guard a little bit when he got the ball and looked and realized he was almost there. He hurried that throw, and he's just lucky it didn't go into the dugout. It would have been good if it would have went in the dugout for the Loggers, because it would have brought the runner back to third.
So we have a pinch hitter here in Matthew Kutnikoff, number 3. He'll hit for Ryan Bicknell here in the top of the 6th, trying to advance that runner from second. Get him home. And it'll be less work now as Burns gets to third base on the wild pitch. So you'd have to think Matthew Kutnikoff here will hit. And we'll see if Bicknell comes back in defensively. A discussion in the Pritchard circle as the Loggers try to slow things down a little bit. They have 2 out. So realistically, concentrate on the batter. If you're the Jacks, are 2 runs going to be enough for Devin McCullough over 2 innings? Big hack there for a strike.
Nice pitch there by Leaf, catching the outside part of the plate.
Kutnikoff staying alive. Fights off another good pitch. We've seen a couple of times today, the longer the batter able to stay alive and at bat ends up in a hit.
Yep, the Saskatoon Jacks hoping that this is one of them times. Add another run.
That just missed. Yeah, with Burns just a few feet away, sitting at third base, wanting to get home.
60 feet away.
That one got away from Leaf.
Kutnikoff worked the count full.
And he's going to draw a walk. Look at that. So Kutnikoff does the job, gets on base. Bicknell will be re-entered and will run. And now I believe a pitching change here as Leaf will head back to the dugout. And the Loggers will go to the bullpen. So Cowick is coming back into the game to third base.
Now batting the OPO number 23, Justin Laskowski.
So does that mean Hunter's going in the pitch?
Oh. We'll get it all sorted out once everybody gets to their positions. We know Braden Arcand is coming, or check that, 23, Justin Laskowski will come to the plate to hit. He's 2 for 3 on the day, including a double. So Hunter, I think, is going back to second, it looks like. And it's going to be number 8. It's going to be Barkman, who was in the DP spot. He's going to come in a pitch. So Leaf comes out. Cowick goes back to third. Hunter goes to second. And it's going to be Barkman pitching.
Clear as mud.
So that ends the day for Leaf.
Leaf going 5 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Through 83 pitches, 58 for strikes. Faced 29 batters through 5 2/3.
Well, the Jacks certainly had to work for it. Not a lot of gimmies here in this game. So it's going to be Burns at third base, Bicknell at first. He was pinch hit for by Kutnikov, who ended up with a walk, and then Bicknell was re-entered. Jacks with a run in already as Andrew Kutnikov came in, got another hit. He's 3 for 3 on the day, and he came around and scored on a throwing error to make it 3-1.
And Liskowski due up here.
He was 2 for 3, pardon me, with the single and a double against Leaf.
We'll see if he'll do what Wilson did earlier for the Loggers come out swinging with the new pitcher. Base hit definitely scores 1.
And we're ready to go again. Barkman with his first delivery. And good call on first pitch, first swing. Chop foul to the third base side. And that goes to second base, Bicknell. So was running on that pitch, gets to second with no throw.
Major framing that pitch, hoping to get the call.
And the catcher wants to have a conversation here. 2 away, so the focus is on the batter for sure.
Leaf able to get 2 outs here via strikeouts, but has struggled since. Major and Barkman's meeting's over as they're probably trying to get their signs and signals straight.
That slice to the third base side, but that's going to go foul. Liskowski just missing the opposite field punch. This game now over an hour and a half old. Got it away at 6 o'clock. That's charged. Deep left field, that's way back, and that's gone. A 3-run shot for Justin Laskowski, and he's just blown this wide open.
Laskowski going with the pitch. Opposite field, home run.
Well, you got a feeling he seemed to have a beat on the ball, Justin. 2 foul balls to the third base side and was finally able to square off on one. And as you say, just go with it and punch it opposite field.
Yep, wind's blowing out a little bit, so he got it up in the air, and even without the wind, that was gone. It was well over the left field fence.
Braden Arcan now up to the plate. 1 for 2, and he'll charge it to the outfield fence, and he'll cruise into second with a double.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Max.
All this done with 2 outs. Throwing error at first for Pat Burns.
Chop back to the pitcher. That'll go to first base, and that will end the inning as Major is thrown out, but not before the Jacks add 4 to their side of the board. 6-1 lead now, and just 2 hits in that inning, or 3 hits, pardon me, and that has given the Jacks a solid lead going into the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, one swing of the bat blew this game wide open. New pitcher, way to welcome the new pitcher to the game.
So Devin McCullough will go back to work for the Jacks. He'll face Scott Nehigh, Kyle Cowick, and Tyson Barkman, who are all due up here. We'll see if the Loggers make any changes, but they're going to need to get some base runners.
Top half of the 6th inning, there were 4 runs and 4 hits, 1 error and 1 left on.
And away we go, bottom of the 6th here with Scott Nehigh up to the plate facing Devin McCullough. And that's skied to the second baseman. And backing up to make the play, and that's 1 out.
Now batting the OPO, number 4, Kyle Cowick.
So Kyle Cowick stepping up to the plate to face McCullough. So with the Loggers being the home team in this game, they will get their at-bats in the 7th.
Yes.
So there's no run-ahead rule that's going to come into play in this game.
No, regardless if they're ahead by 7, 8, 9, it won't matter. They will get a chance.
but I'm sure they'd feel a lot better if they got a couple here. Bunt attempt, and Cowick trying to change things up and bunt himself aboard, but that didn't work. And that gets by the catcher. Cowick's going to charge down to first. And the catcher points to himself saying, that was me. So that's technically a strikeout, but the runner is aboard on the pass ball. So due up in the lineup was Barkman, but he will not hit as the Loggers bring in Todd Belton to pinch hit in this particular situation. And Belton watches a first pitch ball. So a break for the Loggers as they get a runner on base on the strikeout pass ball. And that's going to be nubbed down the first baseline, and that's going to be foul. And now Belton finding himself down a couple of strikes. One and two the count. And now we'll sit down on the strikeout for two away. And McCullough just finding the range, ready to end the inning. First, he'll have to face Logan Newman, who's 1 for 2 on the day, had a double back in the fourth inning, stranded at second. The Loggers' only run coming in the third. Nice pitch by McCullough. Completely froze Newman. Now you got to take a hack at anything that's close.
Yeah, Loggers need base runners and they need runs. They don't have to get it all back this inning. They can split it up.
That one slammed to right field, and that's going to get into the corner. And Cowick's going to score from first base, and Newman's in with a triple.
Beautifully hit ball down the first base line. Started out almost in where second base is, and it curved so much it landed probably within 3 feet of the fair foul line and just rolled into the corner. And with the wheels that he has, he ended up at third, sorry.
Ben Edginton now the batter. Couple of strikeouts on the day for him.
Here we go, Deb. Here we go, 1-2. You and Maxie. Come on, boy. Come on, White. Chatter, White.
fielding on the 15 in Edgington.
Change up. And saying he went, and Edgington is not happy. It looked like he held up on that.
Yeah, from where I'm sitting right above home plate there, just off to the third base side, it looked like he did check his swing.
That just changes the entire face of this at bat. Doesn't offer at the rise ball. So if the Loggers can get this run in from third, that will make it 6-3 and make it manageable for the seventh, but they won't be able to do that. It's a strikeout for the third time as Edgington will sit down. Stranded at third is Newman.
And Edgington just got tossed. He had some choice words for the home plate umpire after that called strike on the check swing. Umpire followed him right to the dugout, and Edgington turned and said something, and he got tossed.
So the Loggers will have to find another left fielder to play the top of the seventh here. Wilson was also talking to the umpires, so the Loggers trailing by 4 after 6 innings, 6-2. So the focus should be for them to keep the Saskatoon Jacks off the board in the seventh. And it looks like we have a new pitcher for the Loggers. It's going to be number 17 for Souk BC. And it's going to be Aaron Emery coming in to pitch. So the Saskatoon Jacks have Troy Kuzminka coming up to the plate. Then scheduled up is Brant Wiebe and Andrew Kutnikoff. Kutnikoff's had himself quite a game, 3 for 3 so far and a run scored. But it's going to be Kuzminka coming up to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day, and he will face Emery as that sunset starts beating down into the broadcast booth. We're kind of positioned just along the third baseline.
Now batting the first baseman, number 29, Troy Kuzminska.
For the Jacks, you love having McCullough pitching for you here in the latter stages of the game, but I'm sure run support would not be turned away. As Kuzminka gives him some run support, as that is drilled to the other ball diamond. It went over the main fence here, and that was a huge charge in the ball by one Troy Kuzminka. So now up to the plate is Brant Wiebe, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. So all of that hard work by the Loggers back in the bottom of the sixth, erased by one Kuzminka Jack. Wiebe able to keep things going here with the foul ball. And it looks like Kutnikov is on deck. So the Jacks staying with their original lineup here for the 6, 7, 8 hitters who've done a job this afternoon. Again, Andrew Kutnikov 3 for 3. We'll get another look at him. Wiebe, nice grab at short, fired over to first, and beautiful play by Wilson on the spin and out.
Great play by Wilson, over there at short. Did the old hockey reference, the Savardian spinorama, and fired that ball a strike right to Niha, right at first, to get him by the step.
So here's Andrew Kutnikov. He'll take a first pitch strike. Stands in the batter's box there. Took a healthy cut, but he's down 0-2. And he'll go down swinging. First time he doesn't get aboard this game. 2 away. Will Major, 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts. The second baseman will try to get aboard to flip the order back to the top. And that's Sky to the second base side. Trouble, and that's going to be swallowed up by the right fielder on a nice play, and that will end the inning, but not before Saskatoon adds to its lead on a Troy Kuzminka blast deep to center field, and the Jacks lead it 7-2. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Last call for the Loggers here to at least even things up and do up Gus Wilson, Chris Wilson, the 8 and 9 hitters, and back to Brian Avery at the top. Devin McCullough sliding back to the pitcher's circle for what he hopes is just one more inning of work. And it will be Gus Wilson, the shortstop, coming up to the plate. He scored Sook BC's first run of the game back in the 3rd. The Loggers able to get 2 in the 6th. Or sorry, 1 in the 6th, pardon me. And it's 7-2. Healthy cut there by Wilson. Swung through it. That's crushed. Deep center right field. And Wilson hits the backstop of the second field. Oh my, 2 bombs. He just crushed that. And Wilson will jog into home. And again, the Loggers able to put one on the board here in the 7th.
Yeah, just like Kuzminka's home run, the outfielders just turned and watched it leave the ballpark. It would have been interesting to see how far that would have went if that backstop wouldn't have been there.
That hit the top of the backstop and rattled some spectators at that other diamond. That's something you don't expect.
And there's a mesh, like a, I can't think of the terminology, but like a mesh going around the outside. It cleared that on the original fence that they have out there in the outfield. Netting, I guess, is the word I was looking for.
McCullough's got to get back to work here as that pitch is fouled off. Here's Walushka. McCullough has him on the ropes. Walushka trying to get aboard here. His teammate just hit a solo shot and would love to get on base for Brian Avery. Now the batter calls timeout. And did he offer at that? And sure enough, they check down to the third baseman, and Walushka is out on strikeouts. So Brian Avery coming up to the plate. He is 1 for 3, a single back in the third base, stranded at second. Or third inning, pardon me. Stranded at second. A couple of strikeouts, including one in the fifth facing McCullough. So we're back to the top of the order for the Loggers, and these are the guys you want to have at the plate to mount a comeback, albeit a long one, down 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's crushed by Avery. Doesn't have the legs, though. And, a jumping catch by the center fielder as he goes crashing into the fence. Braden Arcand, it really didn't look like he had a clean beat on that ball as it kept sailing. But somehow Arcand able to make the catch and tumble into the outfield fence, but it's an out.
Yeah, that ball got up in the air and it just started to carry, and I think Arcand misjudged it a little bit and kept backing up, and yeah. Aubrey just missing that by inches.
So Blake Hunter coming to the plate for the Loggers, and they're down to their last out. Hunter, 1 for 2 on the day, a single back in the third, walked in the first, struck out in the 5th. And McCullough starts him off with a strike. And now Hunter down 0-2. So if the Jacks can put this one away, they'll go to 5-1. And just missed high. Wanted Hunter to chase that one. And no. 2-2.
McCullough doing a good job there, mixing up the location of them pitches, trying to get Hunter to bite on one of them.
Change up, and to third base, the throw over, and that will do it as the Jacks will go to 5-1 with a 7-3 win over the Loggers from Sook, BC. The big inning for Saskatoon, the 6th. As they score 4 runs to take the big lead, and the big mark, Justin Leskowski's 3-run blast that broke it wide open in that game, Justin.
Which I believe still hasn't landed yet. He put a charge in that ball, and that's what did it. That 3-run homer right after a pitching change, and that blew that game wide open.
So the Jacks will go to 5-1 and are at the top of the standings for the time being. Bear Creek has 2 more games to play, and they're 4-0. They will be playing at 8:15 tonight and 9 a.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Loggers dropped to 3-3. And they're done for the round robin as we get set for our next broadcast. Final score here, it's the Saskatoon Jacks 7, Sook BC Loggers 3. On behalf of Justin, I'm Steve Sabrin. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back with our next game shortly, due up in about 15 minutes' time.